Hey guys, AC Rags again. Uh, Today I'm not feeling the greatest right now. I got up, stuffy nose, feeling tired, just wanting to sleep really. But I did want to come up and, but I did want to get a video out and get a few things out. Especially like what happened with this whole thing with Portas dos Fundos, Productoria y Audiovisual, or SA channel, whatever it was. It's been a couple of days fight with the whole thing, and it turned out okay for a lot of us. A lot of us get our claims dropped, and that was great. Other than that, it was a little bit of a stressful time, and I think I'm coming down with something due to that stress. And yeah, but anyways, I did want to bring up one thing. But the main thing I wanted to bring up is principles and copyright. What we had was, of course, these were our videos, our direct recordings that got copyright claimed, and we had to fight that. Now, while I was doing this and I was speaking out about this, and y'all know how I was when I first put out that video, I was very angry. I had just gotten up, I saw the claim, and I just exploded on camera. And yeah, but one of the things I kept being told throughout this whole thing by a couple other people was, Ace, shut up. Leave it alone. Let it slide. It's only a couple of cents. Just let it go. I can understand why some people would ditch their principles if it was a life or death situation. It's YouTube. Is it a life or death situation? Nope. This is not a life or death situation. It's YouTube. Now, was I going to stand on my principles or abandon them during this? No, I was going to stand by my principles because, one, I went out, I took the time to record for like 2 hours, make my video, take another 1.5 hours to 2 hours of editing and rendering and putting it on YouTube, to have somebody come by and say, hey, you're making a couple of cents off of that? I want it. It's mine. No. I don't care that it was a couple of cents. When you let your principles slide, you're telling people you're not willing to fight for what's yours. And they keep looking at that, and they keep saying, you know what? This guy's not gonna fight me. Keep taking from him. Keep taking, keep taking, keep taking. Let's say you're dealing with a bully. You go to school, you have your lunch, this guy comes by, and goes, hey, that's a nice orange you have. I'm taking that, it's mine now. You go, hey, but that's mine. He goes, no, I want it more, so it's mine now. What are you going to do about it? If you sit there and go, well, he looks kind of tough. I don't know if I can fight him. I don't know if I really want to fight him, if I got the energy and the time to do this. I'll let it go. Now, it wasn't that big of a deal. You probably could have fought. You could have argued with the guy, got some of your friends together to argue with the guy, kept the orange. But you didn't. Now let's say this guy comes by again the next day, sees you with your little lunch, and he goes, your orange, it's mine. Again, you're sitting there and it's like, it's just an orange. I don't really like oranges. I'm going to let it slide. So you do. Guy goes, I want it more. It's mine. Walks off. Now this keeps going on for days. Keep bringing in your lunch, he keeps taking your orange, you say nothing. But let's say one day you're thinking, you know, I could really use a snack at lunchtime, so I know he likes oranges, so I'm gonna bring an apple. You go to school, you have that apple, and here comes this guy, you're sitting there. He's not gonna want that apple, he's not gonna take that apple. Guess what? That's a nice apple. I want it. It's mine. You go, but you like oranges. That's why I brought an apple, because you like oranges. He's gonna tell you. He might tell you something like, "Hey, you know, look, it's not the orange. It was that you had something. I wanted it for free. I took it. I don't care if it's an orange. I don't care if it's an apple. If I can get it for free, I'm gonna take it. I want it more, so it's mine." So what are you gonna do? How can you really complain about that? Because let's say this went on for 5 days. For 5 days, this guy took your oranges, and he took your apple, and now you make a complaint. What's gonna happen? That's what's basically the same kind of principle that happens in the court of law. Let's say you have a series. You do 20 episodes of, like, say, some of us were doing Resident Evil 7, some of us were doing Doom, some of us were doing Overwatch. Let's say you did 20 episodes of Overwatch. Now, let's say that each of these 20 episodes got false copyright claimed by this guy. And you stood there and did nothing. And you think, well, let me try something new. I'm gonna do Resident Evil. Let's do a Resident Evil video. Put it out there. Now let's say this Resident Evil video goes viral. This guy sits there and he goes, I could really make some money off of this. Mine. I am going to copyright that. It's mine now. Now, let's say this dispute goes back and forth, there's strikes and whatnot, and it does go to court. It's all your material, but guess what? The guy is going to have a little more on his side because you allowed him to have 20 episodes. He had 20 episodes unchallenged. He copyrighted all of your material. You have this one episode. The court's going to look at it and say, well, you have a history of being copyrighted by the copyright claimed by this guy, and you didn't fight it. Now, it's even worse. Let's say that it wasn't a Resident Evil. Let's say you did another Overwatch video, and it went viral. Now, this guy is really gonna have to have a little bit more of a legal standing, because he's already got 20 of your Overwatch videos that he's copyright claimed, and the 21st one you try to fight that. That's gonna be a more of an uphill battle for you than it originally was if you stopped him back at 1 or 2 videos. See what I'm getting at? Principles. It's about standing up for yourself, really. Now, if it's the actual publisher, that's where it gets a little more tricky. Like I said before, you could try to fight that, but it's a matter of how much time and energy you want to put into it. I know some people have gotten a copyright claim by a publisher, and they cats. Anyways, they Mia, stop. Cat. Anyways, so they where was I? Stupid cat. So they already have a little bit of advantage on you because you didn't stop them already. So that's what it comes down to. Now, if it's the actual publisher, that's a different story. There, I can understand why you might want to let it slide, because that's not an easy win. Let's say it was an accident. YouTube's content ID system accidentally IDs it. Let's say you fight it. You go and tell the publisher. In some cases, sometimes some of them are really cool, and they just say it was a mistake. We're gonna retract the claim, and y'all guys go ahead and keep doing what y'all are doing and have fun with it. Now, that's not gonna be for every case, because some companies will fight you because they think that you're profiting off of their product and that they should be making money off of that product. So it really comes down to the company, the time and energy you're willing to put into it if you're gonna fight a publisher, because that's not gonna be an easy battle. That's why I say it's probably best just to let it go on that end. I can understand why you would let that one go. But if it's somebody that just has no actual association with the publisher and they're copyrighting your material, fight it. Stand by your principles, because sometimes your principles is what's going to win you the battle. And that's all I really got to say on the subject. I'm going to go and get some rest, and I'll probably try to put out another opinion piece sometime this week. Anyways, it's been AC Rags, and I need to get some rest. Laters.